Welcome to the show, everybody. It's your boy MC. Hit that like button, cash at me. We finna get this thing started. Yes, I got on the South LA Central hat, baby. So, hey, we finna take another look because 3 weeks ago I showed a glimpse of these two bills and these 10, 10 weird laws out here in California. And so this is before and after Proposition 50. But man, they got some laws that's going down that your own children and your own foster children will have more power than you over your authoritarian over your child because of the guardianship laws and things of that nature. So let's get this show started. And we're gonna get it cracking with April Chapman first because she came out 8 hours. Go in, hey, she be busy, Christian woman, fair use. Let's check it out.
You've got another thing coming. This is coming to a state near you, and I need to explain to you exactly.
Now I like, see, because what goes on in California triggers that effect in other states. So Gavin Newsom and a lot of the individuals that wanted these new laws, it's going to jump to other states. Look at Pennsylvania homeless crisis. Hey, it wasn't like that when we started off with our homeless crisis, but now look at it. It looked like it surpassed Skid Row, California. So let's take a deep dive into this right now.
And save their children. They call it progress, but California just made it easier for the predator and harder for parents to protect and save their children. They call it progress, but I call it your typical freak, nasty, ditty crap perversion wrapped up in public policy.
Fair use.
Governor Gavin Newsom and the Democrats, they've been up to a lot lately. But they've quietly pushed a set of laws that decriminalize sex trafficking zones, allows strangers to act as caregivers, and then seal your children's identity and keeping it away from you, the parent. If you don't live in California and you think that this is not going to affect you, you've got another thing coming. This is coming to a state near you, and I need to explain to you exactly what this is and what it all means so that you can know how to move differently. So let's get into this. Grace and peace, you guys. Welcome back to Unshankable with April Chapman, where we discuss all things social, cultural, political, and theological from a biblical perspective. I'm your host, April Chapman, and welcome to today's show. On today's show, we're going to be exposing what California Governor Gavin Newsom, freak nasty Newsom is what I call him, what him and his Democrat colleagues have been up to. Y'all, this is absolutely horrible.
What?
I like that you can take the course at your own pace and it had all the tools needed, like templates that you can.
However, when it comes to Democrats at this point.
So I may speed it up, but feel free to go over there and look at her show, the rest of this, when I log off. Why are these California law making it easier for predators?
Nothing shocks me anymore. Now, do you guys know how I'm always referring to Democrats as the party of slavery? Well, I do so because it's true. It was true about the Democrats of yesteryear, and it is still true now. So there are these new sets of laws that have been repealed and adjusted and completely changed that are so egregious to children that I need to let you, my listening audience, know about it.
I'm going to speed it up.
These laws, they endanger children. But what's worse than that is that it strips parents of their legal rights, the rights that the good Lord has given you to shepherd and to be in charge of your children, is that it strips parents of their legal rights, the rights that the good Lord has given you to shepherd and to be in charge of your children, to protect them and to provide to them and to give them a good life. These laws stand in the way of that.
Yeah. She did a good show on this, so go over there and check it out. Now, I don't know if she's going to show some of the paperwork, but let's move right up to here. This is still our show.
With me. I understand this is a family-friendly show, but I have to speak plain and help you understand what this is about. I have 2 young girls, and so I want my audience to understand and to be aware of what is happening.
And this morning, the chiefs of police for San Diego and for National City calling for the state to repeal a new law which decriminalized loitering for sex work.
According to the chiefs, SB357 makes it harder for officers to arrest people for human trafficking. But supporters of the law say it helps reduce harassment and discrimination against certain communities. San Diego Police Chief David Nislight joining us now to discuss more on this. Chief, thanks so much for coming in. Really appreciate your time. We know that the department was part of this recent sting that led to the arrest of
Money grab.
48 people. Senate Bill 357, though, this was authored by Senator Scott Wiener, who said the previous loitering law resulted in, quote, disproportionate criminalization of trans, black, and brown women and perpetuates violence towards sex workers. Your response to this, and tell us how has this impacted your officers' abilities to investigate sex trafficking?
Y'all be thinking I'm tripping at work, but I don't.
Well intentioned. But here's what we're seeing out here. What we're seeing is you have the sex workers out there, a lot of them out there being trafficked against their will. Our way of rescuing somebody is to have that initial contact, to have an officer go up and say, hey, what puts you out on the street? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. We find out a lot of these people are juveniles, they're runaways, they're in a very bad relationship, they're being forced into this business. When this bill was enacted, it took away that ability to contact that. But also, you know, talking about the disparities, there's other ways to look at that and see if you can minimize that disparity. Mm-hmm. But again, how many more victims do we need to have? You know, we rescued a 13-year-old girl. There's no way in heck that she wanted to be out there. She's being trafficked. And so, you know, I've been doing this now for 35 years, and this is getting worse. And this was a very predictable and foreseeable consequence of this bill. Also, this is being complaint-driven. Could you imagine living in this area or having a business in this area? You know, so let's look at this from a balanced perspective of looking at it from the perspective of the person being trafficked, look at it from the perspective of the people that work and live in that area. I mean, it became an open-air sex market, as the district attorney talked about, and I've been out there multiple times on duty, and it's just the nonstop drivers, and then the workers are out there, much like the video shows.
Yeah, I know this was all part of the operation that you were on. Many law enforcement agencies taking part in this, arresting about 50 people.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, a lot of the victims, these are victims who are being sex trafficked. I mean, you mentioned a 13-year-old. I remember mentioning a pregnant person who was out there. Transgender people, foster kids, become used by these traffickers.
Yeah.
And Trip. And then they say foster kids, but what tripped me out is seeing the interview of someone that went to my son's high school, Norbon, that graduated a year before him, out there. Man, that blew me away. You know, they had an interviewing spot of that, but let's get back to the show and see what April is right now finna say.
Hey everybody, Peach here, and today we're going to take a look at the Speediance Gym Monster 2, which is an all-in...
Before this new legislation, if a police officer saw that kind of loitering, they would easily intervene, and usually this is when the young girl would give some sort of signal to let the police know, I am in danger, I am in distress. She might...
So, a lot of my colleagues and friends, we did all these campaigns. And this is how far it has gotten. We see figure horror. We see PCH is doing a little uptick. Washington Boulevard, just all around the place. Western Boulevard. MC went to one of those after next day prom parties, and then I seen Long Beach Boulevard. So it's an uptick. It's an uptick. I may have titled this one here really, really wrong. I didn't know April was coming with this much smoke. Golly. So go over there and check out the rest of that show. Let me see how far I got into it. Man, I got into it. I didn't know she was coming with this smoke, because I thought she was just going to stay with the predatorial, thing of the kids. I thought just talk about the hospitals, the doctors, where our teens can do these operations up on themselves, but also they have it in the laws too. So that's the way I want to just start this show off. Man, I didn't know all that smoke was coming. So feel free to go over there and check her show out. This is how it looks. I know a commercial might come up on it, and then this is how it looks. Her show looks like this. Fair use.
She might whisper. She might.
Unshakable with April Chapman. So go over there and check it out. This is the show. Sometimes she'll be on the news. So sometimes she'll be on the news, and then she does things from a Christian perspective and things. There's gonna be a lot of that Christian gang banging and church gang banging going on over there, but it be from the word of the Lord. So feel free to go over there and check this out. So I'm gonna do a snippet of what I thought I was gonna get into because this was real deep, and I would have to change this title. So let's look at some of these 10 laws, because this is going to be the one I'm going to do tomorrow. The 10 craziest new laws or the 10 terrible bills. Yeah, the laws. Here we go. Fair use. So y'all see this? See? So here's the 10th law. Payroll tax hike, but that's not what I'm going to talk about because April went to that. Banning local voter ID law. This is something he put up 10 months ago. Keeping secrets from parents. This is the one I wanted to talk about. Oh, wait a minute. So that's what I'm going to come up to. I'm struggle streaming. Here it is. Check this out. Now, this is some of the 10 bills I was going to talk about this week. Payroll tax hike. Okay. Banning local voter ID laws, but this is the one we're going to talk about. And fair use. Yep. So here's the one we're going to talk about, and fair use to it, okay?
Teachers from telling parents when their children are expressing doubts or questions about their orientation or their identity.
This is the Wonder Oven Pro from Our Place. Our next generation non-toxic air fryer toast.
Now, telling parents when their children are expressing doubts or questions about their orientation or their identity. Now, the liberals say that we need to protect children from these awful parents that are going to traumatize them. Oh, this is disgusting. Parents love their children. They want to support their children. It is despicable that Democrats seem to believe that every parent out there, or most parents, or a good number of parents, somehow are these hate-filled monsters. They're not. You can understand that these kids, when they have these identity questions, they need the love and the support of their parents more than ever.
Yeah.
They're probably confused. They're depressed. They're sad. They need that support. But parents may not be in the position of providing the best support if they don't know what's going on. So they are so intent on undermining the rights of parents that they're willing to put at risk the health and well-being of children. Coming in at number 7, related to this, in terms of the top 10 bad laws in California in 2025, Senate Bill 1283 allows schools to ban social media and cell phone use on campus, which, again, you can be for or against.
All right. That's one. Check out this one.
passage by voters the landslide approval of Prop 36, the Make Crime Illegal Again initiative. But until that takes effect,
see, now that sounds almost like a purge law. This one right here, bizarre sick leave changes, but nah, I doubt if that's like a purge law. Let's listen to the rest of it. Oh,
we're still going to have a lot of crime in society, particularly because it's something that we've all been trying to address with the recent passage by voters, the landslide approval of Prop 36, the Make Crime Illegal Again initiative. But until that takes effect, we're still going to have a lot of crime in society, particularly because we continue to see Democrats releasing, for early release, violent criminals. And they continue to undermine our police officers in doing their job every day by calling them racists, by attacking them as inappropriately using force. Again, that only undermines the profession of policing in our community. But Democrats have an idea. Since everyone's becoming a victim of crime more and more, why not mandate that victims of crime are allowed to basically tell their employer that they're not coming into work? That's right.
Oh, I got in a car accident. Put this on my sick leave bill. So yeah, I can just be sick. All right. So go over there and check out his show. Here we go. We're going
the leading ground throw the bums out of office. And that's what completely driven to number 5.
This is the one that gets me. This is the one that gets me, boy. And now we have all this clothing stuff going on, and we're gonna go over this again. Check this out. This is crazy. Now I know I saw it on the news, but
there's now a used clothing mandate, recycling mandate. Senate Bill 707 requires that retail, textile, and apparel companies must now establish programs at their expense to collect old, unwanted, used clothing. So as soon as
do y'all see what it say down there? $5 to recycle your clothes. Does recycle mean donate? Donate is like so damn, $5. So will they bring back those sheds where we used to drop off clothes and have somebody waiting there, like the way the Salvation Army used to do back in the day? Get your clothes and stuff in there, and then we're gonna have to charge the Salvation Army $5 to take our unwanted clothes and merchandise that we want, and the recycling of clothes might turn into the recycling of furniture and stuff like that, where they're gonna do more taxes upon taxes with trash. I'm already getting charged with garbage tax, and then they slid it in with, I don't know, the gas or the electric bill, but golly, that just all because my landlord don't want to have a big dumpster as some of the other housing residents right on our block. And I noticed they feel real man, and it's $50 a month. Golly. So that's weird. $50 extra a month from out of nowhere because he won't buy a dumpster as the other apartments in courts.
You're done wearing, your suit, you're not allowed to throw it away in the landfill. No, that's bad. It takes up space in the landfill. No, you're now going to be required, and stores are going to be required to take the clothes.
This is what the world's most advanced PC looks like.
Off your hands and repurpose them or recycle them. Now, you might say, well, that sounds pretty commonsensical. We don't need to fill up our landfills.
All right.
You know where this is headed, right? Yeah. Connect the dots. Follow the money, honey. You do realize that once a recycling program is established, what happens next? Oh, that's right. The state charges you a deposit on every item of clothing that you buy. I'm telling you, that's what's happening next.
Man, so you know what he turned? So it's going to be probably a CRV extra on clothes when we go to Ross, D's, Marshalls, and stuff. And boy, I was cracking up when I was walking with my father a few months ago, and we stopped at Walmart. He was like, "Look at all these people. They don't have anything else better to do." 95-year-old man saying that. Look at it. And then I wish I was live when he said that. So, do you hear what he said? So when he said that, it's like, dang, we're gonna have clothing tax, but then it's gonna be a back end tax because we stay in California. Ooh, and let alone that video I did. Then if you leave California, they're gonna tax that. Say, oh, okay, so your punk ass want to leave, huh? Tax. So this looked like a blueprint for a whole lot of things for Newsom to say during his campaign to he's being coached.
It's not part of the Senate Bill 707, but that's where this is headed. It's always about your money. It's not about the environment. It's about getting.
So let's get to the next one. Forced unionization of all employees. Yeah, I can get a pretty good idea of that. And that's going to be SB 359 prohibits employers from requiring employees to attend briefings or meetings where anti-union messages are conveyed. AB 800 kicks. I'm reading it for y'all. Kicks that, in a requirement for California high school juniors and seniors to be taught about their workplace rights, the achievement of organized labor and student rights to join a union. Dang, they pushing like to join because union bosses give out the most campaign contribution too. But I wonder if they're going to teach that part. California politicians are rewarding their special interest masters by imposing unfair and inappropriate pro-union mandates in schools and the workplace. And that's just part of his notes down there at the bottom.
No. It's the union boss that calls the shots in the state legislature because they have all these campaign contributions through forced union dues. The way.
So this is playing like I belong to a union, and then the reason why I don't be trying to unenroll from the union I'm in, because every time you do it every year, when the next year comes, you got to keep on doing it and doing it and doing it. Now, back in the day, we used to have a Christmas party. We don't see that email no more. We used to do other things. We don't see none of the stuff we used to do to at least get a taste of we being rewarded being a part of this union. Some of the other unions may still be doing stuff, and it be limited space all the time because it grew. So let's look at the next one. House cleaning and nanny gets workplace protection. Wow. That's going to be interesting. Requiring foster parents to support sex change operations.
Do that. I'm ethical. I'm moral. Live. Let them, experience it. Let's support a surgery for a month. Coming in at number 2, requiring foster parents to support changing operations. Oh, you know what we're talking about. We can't really go into detail because YouTube monetization does not allow us to get into certain details or use certain words, but you know what I'm talking about. Starting in 2025, anyone who wants to be a foster parent in California must sign a pledge that they will support a surgery for a minor or any other therapy for a minor. Even if, again, I'm a gay Republican, so I don't believe in this nonsense. I don't think children should be encouraged to do any permanent decisions when they're young. Let them.
So, and the same here. So, hey, there it is. There it is. Now we got one more. One more we've been looking at. Man.
Increased gas prices for you at the pump. ABX21 kicks in.
See, I don't think it's like, I don't think it's really all the way about the pump. I think this may be gas all the way around. Like we got street vendors now. Now they're gonna get taxed for that butane gas. People that do parties, they got the helium gas, all sorts of gases. That's what I think it is. And they may have it in the fine print. The fine print, dude. You know, the one where you need that magnifying glass. You need to take that magnifying glass and like that. That's what I think is happening. So this is the last one that I'm going to get up.
That requires costly new regulations for oil and gas companies to have to store a bunch of reserves of oil, and that cost would be passed on to you, the consumer. At the pump, ABX21 kicks in that requires costly new regulations for oil and gas companies to have to store a bunch of reserves of oil, and that cost would be passed on to you, the consumer.
Wow.
We'll be the only state in the union that requires this. Like a lot of bad regulations we have on oil and gas.
There's a simple hot water trick that anyone can.
Wow. So they keep doing all. So go over there and check that out, man. That was a lot, but it's like I'm just cracking up that they even going this far with it. So go over there, comment, say something, write in the chat. I had some more videos, but I'm gonna keep this short. Man, I really enjoyed that y'all came to the show. That last bit should have been at the front of the next bit of 8. The last bit, and that one should have been at 8, and then I would have ended. Ooh, I wish he would have had that to the front. But at the same time, hey, your boy MC is out. Hope y'all enjoy the show. Take care. I will have to figure out another title of this because the way April came in on it, that needs to be the meat on the bones. Because, man, woo, dang, shoo. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Yeah, I may have to put in the chat what title that you may think I should start the show, because at the beginning, should I put like legalization of trafficking laws in California? Because, man, take care. Remember that recovery is an inside job. And I thought we was coming down on the sex trafficking, but apparently it looked like something gave in or someone got caught up and may be in on the inside and may have an addiction that they don't want to be caught on film. Men on film out there scrolling in the streets and being predator. Because what this does is that it's going to soften the law on now. If something happened, your body, your choice. That's where these kind of laws leads to. So until then, remember that recovery is an inside job, and you heard it right here on the MC Recovery and Relapse Show. And we don't need to relapse nobody. Okay?